Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the European Commission actually introduced a sweeping new climate deal to address the climate crisis, or supposedly to address the climate crisis. A lot of people feel it doesn't do enough, but they introduced the European Green Deal, the largest policy, the most impactful policy, or biggest overhaul of European policy since the implementation of the European Union itself. Now, the European Green Deal actually has it to where it aims to make Europe the first climate neutral continent by the year 2050, and by 2030 it aims to cut in half all greenhouse gas emissions. Now, people welcome the deal, especially over there in Madrid, Spain, where they're having the United Nations Climate Summit. People are welcoming the deal, but critics or environmentalists are saying this doesn't go far enough to address the climate emergency that we find ourselves in. So see how this turns out. Green War and Graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump on Twitter. Find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube, or in my Instagram bio, GradyGram716. It lays out exactly why you should be removed from the platform. Also, make sure you check out my mixtape, the first Instagram mixtape ever, Still I Grind, at Still_I Grind. The prelude to my Still I Grind album. It's in the works. The shit is fire though, man, so I'd appreciate the support. Now, Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General for the Justice Department, was actually hired to investigate whether there was political bias involved in the opening of the investigation into whether there was collusion between the Trump administration and Russia during the 2016 election. He basically testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee yesterday and reiterated his claims, the claims in his report, which was that there was no political bias. I mean, people had every right to look into that, and there was reason to believe that there needed to be some investigation going on. Now, Republican lawmakers also slammed the FBI during this hearing for how they attained wiretapping capabilities against Trump's campaign advisor Carter Page, because they basically received permission through a secret court known as FISA court, enacted by the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Now, this has been mentioned in the past and has actually been used against a lot of black people and Muslims, a lot of Muslims or whatever. These are all counterterrorism measures, but it was enacted here. So that was obviously when white people are displeased, especially on the right wing or whatever, so heads will roll, So that's what happened with that, the Green War and Graduation. What the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Niger, near the border of Mali, there was an attack that actually killed 70 Niger militants. Now, this is the deadliest attack against the Niger military in history, you know what I'm saying? And this is actually an area where, while no one claimed the attack, there's been, this is in the Sahel region, and there's been, a string of attacks held by Islamist groups across this region this year. And this is also an area where France actually has 4,500 troops deployed in this West African area. And but we should also know this happened days before a planned summit in France that was supposed to be held. This was a security summit held between France, Niger, and 4 other West African nations, but that summit has been postponed. Green War and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Over in Algeria, Africa, so mass demonstrations and protests actually shook the whole country up yesterday, where a bunch of people are calling for a boycott of today's planned national elections. Now, they've been going against these proposed national elections ever since earlier this year, when mass uprisings and demonstrations had actually got the president Abdelaziz Bouteflika out of office. He was there, he was old as shit, people wanted him out of there. And then in him getting out of there, then they wanted, we need a whole change of government because we don't want to keep voting for the same type of powers. And that's exactly what is expected in today's election. They feel like the candidates are all part of the ruling elite. Also keep in mind, on this past Tuesday, there was even a corruption scandal where 2 former prime ministers actually went down in a corruption scandal that ensnared other government officials as well as top businessmen. So, the corruption there is rampant and people not having it. Green Wall graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So at The Hague in Switzerland, at the United Nations International Court of Justice, you have Aung San Suu Kyi. This is Burma's de facto leader. This is somebody who won the Nobel Peace Prize and basically for campaigning against the Burmese military and after being placed under house arrest for 15 years. Now she's up in the ICJ like defending the Burmese military, who's on trial for basically committing genocide against the Rohingya Muslims who were in Burma. And basically in 2017, Burmese military militia basically raped and killed thousands of Rohingya Muslims and then forced 700,000 of them to flee to the neighboring Bangladesh. But Kyi basically was up there, defending them, saying no genocide took place, but she didn't even use the word Rohingya. So, obviously she's scared to death of going back on house arrest. 15 years is a long fucking time, and the people seeing through that. So people are calling for like the United Nations to step in, like, please help us from this genocide. Like, shit real. Green Wall and Graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. And make sure y'all check out my mixtape, Still I Grind, at still_I Grind, the first Instagram mixtape ever. You checked out the page with the handle I just gave you, and in there's also a YouTube link where you can watch it through YouTube, however you prefer. It's shit fire, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'd appreciate the love and the support. Now over in India, the official marginalization of India's 200 million Muslims has been, put in the law with the Citizenship Amendment Bill that I told y'all about yesterday. Was approved by the lower house of Parliament. Well, it's officially been approved by the upper house of Parliament. This has been also termed as like the anti-Muslim bill because it provides a pathway of citizenship for people from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, unless they are Muslim. So you have people in the country now that are like, petitioning. You have the Indian Union Muslim League that's like petitioning to the Indian Supreme Court basically to declare the bill unconstitutional. So that's what's going on. All this is seeming a part of like Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu nationalist agenda. Green Wall graduate. What up, the New World Order? Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Over in Israel, the Knesset has dissolved, meaning that they're basically headed towards a third national election within the year. It's actually set to be on March 2nd between current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who's currently facing 3 charges of corruption, and also his rival Benny Gantz, who also, this is a former army leader, and neither one of them could form a coalition government. So here we are having another national election over there. So we'll see how this turns out. Green Wall and graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for the Black Fox News Report. Over in France. Now I've been telling y'all about how Emmanuel Macron's pension overhaul was being fought against. Basically, people are protesting in the streets en masse. Shutting down schools, rail lines, and public transportation shit. Even the other day they were blocking oil refineries and whatnot. Well, Edouard Philippe, the Prime Minister of France, actually gave a televised address outlining the proposed pension plan, which is actually says that the retirement age will remain 62, but it raises the retirement age effectively to 64 for anybody born after 1974. So people feel like that's like, crossing the line, you know what I mean? And, even police now have joined these protests, which are now in their second week. Green Wall and graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. And make sure y'all check out my mixtape, Still I Grind, the first Instagram mixtape ever, at still_I Grind is where you can find it. Posts, they got the pictures, commentary, and fire ass freestyles and music. You know what I'm saying? Good music, and one of my Black Fox News Reports. It's also a YouTube link there for you to watch it straight through as a whole video. 24-minute runtime. You know what I mean? I appreciate the love and the support. This shit fire. My nigga, now check this out though. Harvey Weinstein, disgraced Hollywood mogul, actually reached a $25 million settlement with the dozens of actresses and female employees who've accused him of serial rape, sexual harassment, and sexual assault. So he or in that 25 million hits him and the board of his now bankrupt company. Now he doesn't have to pay any of his own money in order to settle this or whatever, and doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing. This is a civil court matter, but he still has to face criminal court in New York for sexual assault and faces court in January. Green War on Graduate. What other in the world though? The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in the Instagram bio, Grady Grant 716. That's my Instagram bio. Or you can find it in this video description if you're watching it on YouTube. That's exactly why you should be removed from the platform. We're talking spreading misinformation. We're talking putting people in danger, violating Twitter policies. Like, it's got to stop. Now, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, actually reached a historic settlement, the largest settlement ever with a for-profit college of 100 is with the University of Phoenix, and is for $191 million, basically for them having deceptive advertising and marketing false job opportunities. So of that 191, 141 million is going toward canceling the student debt that was accrued from going to this college. So, hopefully this sends a message to them other, type scam colleges. I mean, at the University of Phoenix is being considered now. Green War on graduation. Maybe not now. It's been like that maybe. But what other in the world though? The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Donald stupid fucking Trump, man. President Donald Trump, pardon me. He actually, no, don't pardon me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He imposes this executive order that basically forces federal agencies to implement a new definition of anti-Semitism that's going to include any criticism of the Israeli government, and it's also going to ban or penalize college campuses and universities for allowing conversation and debate about the Israeli government and their politics, whatever. So, it's basically aimed at, suppressing the BDS movement, boycotts, divestments, and sanctions, which is a non-violent worldwide movement aimed at putting pressure on Israel to basically treat the Palestinians better, because, they, as the United Nations has already acknowledged, they're committing war crimes over there. Like, let's be real. So for Trump, you got Jewish groups that are opposing this, like the Jewish group J Street, which is saying it's going to have a chilling effect on free speech. Other groups are saying, like, Trump is somebody that's emboldened white nationalists who go against Jews. So it's like, this seems more about, sucking Israeli dick than it does about, protecting American Jews. There's Green War on graduation. What other in the world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, has actually sent letters to 7 immigrants specifically, but they basically threatening them with fines and criminal prosecution for basically seeking sanctuary throughout the country at churches to resist deportation. Now, this is the second time they've done these things. I mean, last summer they actually had fines, who were trying to fine migrants up to about $500,000 for basically trying to resist deportation. So here they are again trying to do the same thing, where the reality is, as David Benion, an attorney for the Free Migration Project, who works with some of these families, has noted this is actually seen as unconstitutional because it restricts free speech and it violates the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Green War on graduation. What other in the world though? The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube, or my Instagram link bio, GradyGrant716. You'll see it there, and the link is exactly why you should be removed from that platform. Also, make sure y'all check out my mixtape, the first Instagram mixtape ever, Still I Grind. The prelude to the Still I Grind album that's on the way, that's fire. But this mixtape's fire as well. Commentary, me spazzing on other people's beats and all of that shit. Like, the shit's flame. at still underscore I grind. And there's a YouTube link there where you can watch it now. In my hometown, I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. You feel me? And in recent days, if you're watching the news, you see there was a shootout in Jersey City that took place on they'll call it Martin Luther King, but it's Jackson Ave. You feel me? But basically left 6 people dead. Now, news reports and authorities are saying that it started from a assailant, two people who had killed a police officer in basically near the cemetery, which ain't on Jackson, you know what I'm saying? But killed them near the cemetery, and then they fled to a kosher market and run by Hasidic Jews and all of that. And basically a shootout ensued there and left 6 people dead. Now people are blaming the Black Hebrew Israelite groups, which is Southern Poverty Law Center described as a hate group, even though us woke black community folks, we don't see them as no hate group. A little extreme, but not no real hate group, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, what sense does it make that Black Hebrew Israelites who believe they're the real Israelites would flee to a kosher market? And that's what the authorities are telling the people. It don't necessarily make sense, but this is a hood where a lot of Jews are moving into and gentrifying. So, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. So, green, gold, gray.